The Thompson family was a close-knit family who were known for their unwavering love and resilience. They had always dreamed of a peaceful life by the sea, where they could escape the chaos of the city and find solace in the calming waves. After years of hard work by saving every penny and meticulously planning, they finally found their dream home and moved to Bayville. It was a small and quiet town on the rugged coastline with a rich history. The sprawling coastline shimmered under the midday sun that welcomed the Thompson family with open arms as they arrived. At their new home, the old Victorian house stood tall and proud, its weathered exterior giving it a sense of history and charm. Excitement filled the air as they pulled into the driveway. Joe and Sarah Thompson stepped out of their car, accompanied by their 2 children, Emily and Michael. The salty breeze caressed their faces, carrying a sense of tranquility and hope. They couldn't wait to explore their new surroundings and immerse themselves in the peacefulness of Bayville. The picturesque town seemed like the perfect place to start anew, with its charming cottages and breathtaking ocean views. The Thompson family quickly settled in and began to call Bayville home. The Thompson had cherished their new home. They wanted it to become a place filled with love, laughter, and cherished memories. The small town had always been shrouded in mystery while existing in its own little world. The children made new friends at the local school, while Joe and Sarah became acquainted with their friendly and welcoming neighbors. Life seemed perfect, and the family couldn't have been happier. However, Emily, the Thompsons' teenage daughter, was particularly captivated and intrigued by the town's mysterious aura. She spent her days exploring the narrow streets, admiring the quaint cottages, and listening to the whispers of the ocean. With her long golden locks flowing in the wind and her eyes reflecting the vastness of the sea, Emily's insatiable thirst for exploring the unknown led her to stumble upon a hidden secret in their new, old Victorian home. Emily's life had always been filled with curiosity and adventure from a young age. Little did she know, the horrors within the town would cause her life to take an extraordinary turn. Whispers of strange occurrences and unexplained phenomena had circulated among the locals for generations, but the Thompson family remained blissfully unaware of the dark secrets that lay hidden beneath the surface. Joe and Sarah Thompson hoped to find solace in this tranquil town, unaware that their dreams would soon turn into nightmares. As the sun set on their first evening in the house, a storm began to stir. The Thompsons settled in, eager to begin their new life with excitement and anticipation. The family couldn't help but feel a sense of peace wash over them as they unpacked their belongings. The sound of crashing waves and the salty scent of the sea filled the air, creating a serene atmosphere they had always longed for. However, soon strange occurrences began to unfold. A sudden chill filled the air as the family gathered around the dinner table. The room grew silent, and the atmosphere became heavy with an unexplainable tension. Sarah's eyes filled with concern as she looked at Joe. "Do you feel that?" she whispered. Joe nodded with a pale face. "Something doesn't feel right," he replied, glancing at their children who were equally unsettled. The Thompsons were gathered around the fireplace after dinner, seeking solace from the raging storm outside. Suddenly, they heard a loud crash coming from the kitchen. Rushing to investigate, they found shattered glass scattered across the floor. It was as if someone had thrown a plate against the wall, but there was no one there. That night, as the family lay in their beds, strange noises echoed through the house. Shivers ran down their spines as whispers, footsteps, and eerie laughter filled the air. Emily and Michael clung to each other as their hearts pounded in their chests. The Thompsons couldn't help but notice these strange occurrences. At first, they just brushed them off as nothing more than a product of their weary minds, attributing them to the unfamiliarity of their surroundings and the stress of the move. However, the paranormal manifestations grew bolder, and the aura of the house became more menacing. Fear gripped the once tranquil household in its icy grasp, leaving them unsettled and fearful as it wrapped around each family member's heart. As the days turned into weeks, the strange occurrences continued to plague the Thompsons. They would hear unexplained noises in the dead of night, as if someone was whispering in their ears. Objects would move on their own. Things slid across tables and fell to the ground. Doors would creak open, only to slam shut with a force that sent shivers down their spines. Pictures flew from the walls as their frames crashed to the floor. It was as if an invisible force was trying to erase their existence. The air within the house thickened with an eerie presence, and shadows danced ominously in the corners of their vision, defying any logical explanation. These strange occurrences taunted the family at every turn. Joe and Sarah would lie awake at night with fear appeared in their faces, as the old Victorian house groaned under the weight of their unspoken anxieties. The once warm and inviting home had become a prison, trapping the Thompsons in a web of supernatural terror, but they were not ones to back down in the face of adversity. They knew they couldn't ignore these eerie occurrences any longer. They had to stand together with their love and resilience serving as a shield against the darkness that threatened to consume them. The following days brought more inexplicable occurrences as a sense of dread hung heavy in the air. Late one stormy night, the Thompsons found themselves huddled together in their old Victorian home. The rain poured down, and lightning cracked across the sky. The sound of the downpour was deafening. Amidst the chaos, another sound emerged. One that was faint at first, but steadily grew in volume. It was a very soft, but eerie ghostly melody. The melody was haunting and captivating as it seemed to originate from the attic. An ethereal tune began to drift through the whole house, captivating their senses. The melody left the family both intrigued and unsettled as its notes filled the air. The Thompsons couldn't help but notice a strange aura that seemed to permeate the air. It was as if the house itself held a dark secret that whispered the haunting melodies that only they could hear. On this particular night, the Thompsons found that their lives were about to be turned upside down when Emily stumbled upon a music box within their old Victorian home. They soon found that the music box would unleash a supernatural force unlike anything they had ever encountered. Emily had always been drawn to the mysteries of life and found herself inexplicably attracted to the enchanting and mysterious tune. Intrigued by its ethereal notes that echoed through the house, she couldn't resist the temptation to investigate as the haunting melody guided her. Emily climbed the dusty attic stairs as her heart pounded with anticipation. The light from her candle flickered and danced, casting an eerie shadow along the walls. The music grew louder and more insistent with each step she took. Emily finally reached the attic at the top of the steps and stumbled upon an old music box. It was covered in cobwebs and filled with forgotten memories. It was a thing of beauty, adorned with intricate carvings and glistening with a hint of magic. As the rest of her family lay asleep in their beds, the ghostly melody seemed to originate from that old and forgotten music box. Without hesitation, she gently lifted the lid. A chilling wind swept through the room as the music box creaked open, extinguishing the candle and leaving Emily in darkness. A sense of dread washed over her, and she could feel the presence of something sinister lurking out from within that box. The melody that emanated from the box was both beautiful and haunting, filling the air with an eerie presence. It was as if the melody had woven its way into her very soul. Little did Emily know that this innocent act would awaken a malevolent force of great danger. Unbeknownst to her, the curse of Blue October had been unleashed. It was a curse that had been whispered in legends. It was a curse that held the power to twist the fabric of reality. In that moment, the Thompsons soon realized that the haunting melody of Blue October was far from their imagination. The ethereal tune began to drift through the warm sea breeze, haunting the hearts of Bayville's residents. The Thompson family found themselves at the center of the supernatural storm as the curse took hold of Bayville. It was clear that their daughter was being targeted by the unseen entity that had been awakened, drawing her to the irresistible pull of the song. It unleashed a malevolence that fed on the fears and weaknesses of its inhabitants. Now, it had set its sights on the Thompsons' daughter. The haunting melody that seemed to echo through the Thompsons' house began to haunt their dreams and torment their every waking hour. It was a tune that seemed to come from another world. It was one filled with darkness and despair. Emily became obsessed with uncovering the truth and source behind the haunting melody. With her curious nature and insatiable thirst for adventure, Emily found herself exploring the hidden corners of the town. She researched old books, visited libraries, and consulted experts in the paranormal. Her determination fueled her obsession, and she turned to Mr. Harrison, the town's historian, and Mr. Jenkins, an expert in local legends, for help. These two men had dedicated their lives to studying the curse that plagued Bayville and had come close to unraveling its mysteries. Intrigued by Emily's tale, Mr. Harrison and Mr. Jenkins agreed to assist her in her quest for answers. They had hoped to find clues about the mysterious melody along the way. With an undeniable air of trepidation, they delved into the hidden history of Blue October. As they explored further, the once charming Victorian home revealed its true nature, becoming a portal to a world of unimaginable horror. Together uncovering long-forgotten secrets and hidden truths. Tales of tragedy and despair. emerged, along with stories of lost souls and ancient curses. Legends spoke of a cursed music box, said to have been found at sea centuries ago. With it was a curse that descended from a shipwreck that spreads its malevolence through the very chords played by sailors awaiting their doom. The curse was the result of a tragic love story, a tale of forbidden love and betrayal. The curse was said to be the result of an ancient ritual gone wrong, with a sacrifice made to appease a vengeful spirit. It was rumored that anyone who heard its haunting melody would be forever bound to its dark power. Blue October was not just a haunting melody. The curse had plagued Bayville for centuries, causing unspeakable horrors and claiming the lives of countless innocent souls. It was a dark supernatural force that had gripped the town in its clutches. The curse had lain dormant until now. The Thompsons discovered that the curse could only be broken by a sacrifice of unimaginable proportions, a sacrifice of pure love that would test their bonds and push them to their limits. As they delved deeper into the mysteries of the curse and uncovered its history, even stranger occurrences plagued their household. Desperation took hold of them, and they set out to uncover the secrets of the old music box, hoping to find a way to break the curse. Their journey was filled with danger and uncertainty, as they encountered malevolent spirits and faced their darkest fears. Emily developed an overwhelming obsession with the ocean. Her obsession continued to deepen, leading her to seek solace in the depths of the ocean. She would spend hours gazing out at the rolling waves, feeling a magnetic pull towards its depths from the first day her family arrived at Bayville. The sound of crashing waves and the salty scent of the sea filled her senses, leaving her longing for more. She couldn't resist the allure, feeling a deep connection to the ocean as if it held the answers to her deepest desires. Her obsession intensified the longer they stayed. She found herself drawn by an irresistible force, venturing closer and closer to the shore each day. The crashing waves became her lullaby, and the salty air her elixir. One fateful day, Emily's heart pounded with anticipation as she stood at the water's edge. It was during one of these excursions that she encountered a sight that would change her life forever. From amidst the crashing waves emerged an ethereal and otherworldly figure. It was a mysterious woman with pale, translucent skin and long hair flowing like seaweed. The woman's voice merged with the cursed melody of the ocean. It was the familiarity of the melody that sent chills down Emily's spine. Her willpower crumbled in the face of the seductive call, and she couldn't resist. Emily was entranced by the ghostly figure that seemed to dance around her. The mysterious woman's movements were fluid and graceful, possessing a haunting beauty that transcended the mortal realm. Her presence was both haunting and captivating. There was a sadness and longing that lingered in her eyes. Emily's heart raced with a mixture of fear and fascination. Deep down, she knew that she had stumbled upon something far more sinister than she could have ever imagined. Despite the danger that loomed before her, Emily couldn't help but believe that this woman was somehow connected to the mysterious vengeful spirit she had heard about from the town's cursed history. She felt an inexplicable connection to the mysterious woman, as if they were bound by a shared destiny. She knew that she had to uncover the truth in order to understand the woman's story and her connection to the ocean. Emily's connection to the mysterious woman grew stronger as each day passed. She learned of the woman's tragic past with a love lost to the depths of the ocean, and a curse that bound her to forever wander the shores. Her tragic past involved a love lost to the depths of the ocean, forever binding her to its haunting embrace. She was cursed to wander the shores for eternity. Emily's family would soon realize that was led down a dangerous path, one that led her straight into the clutches of the curse itself. They grew increasingly concerned. They could see the darkness that was consuming their daughter, and they desperately searched for a way to break the curse and save her from her impending doom. They needed to find a way to free her from the haunting beauty that had captivated her. They were unaware that the small town of Bayville had also fallen victim to the ancient curse. The Thompsons, known for their resilience and determination, discovered that their daughter was not the only one affected. The curse had touched the entire town, seeping into every corner and soul. Determined to save their beloved community, the Thompsons knew they couldn't fight alone. They had to fight back. They needed others who had also been affected by the curse to join them in their battle. They gathered a group of brave individuals who had witnessed the horrors of Blue October firsthand. Each person had their own story, their own scars, but they shared a common goal. They were determined to rid Bayville of this curse once and for all. The Thompsons and their allies had realized that the supernatural force was growing stronger with each passing day. As they delved deeper into the town's archives, they stumbled upon a long-forgotten ancient book. They revealed these ancient rituals and incantations could potentially break the hold of Blue October if performed correctly. Its yellowed pages contained cryptic instructions and warnings of the consequences if performed incorrectly, written in a language long forgotten. Within those pages lay the key to breaking the curse. The Thompsons and their allies studied the ancient book, discovering long-lost rituals and incantations. The rituals seemed daunting, but they knew they had no choice but to try. The fate of Bayville depended on their success. Fear couldn't hold them back. Armed with this newfound knowledge, the Thompsons raced against time, struggling to break free from the hold that Blue October had on their lives. Along the way, Emily crossed paths with Caleb, a brooding young man burdened by his own tragic past. Together, they unraveled the ancient rituals and sinister pacts that bound Bayville to this malevolent curse. As they prepared for the night of the ritual, they discovered that these rituals came with a price. It would test their courage and determination. But their connection grew stronger with each passing moment, fueled by a love that transcended time and defied the grip of darkness. Love alone, however, could not break the chains of the curse that has tormented Bayville for far too long. With the guidance of Mr. Jenkins and Mr. Harrison, the Thompsons and Caleb learned that the only way to break the curse was to perform a specific ancient ritual. This ritual held the key to banishing the curse and freeing themselves from its clutches forever. It could only be performed under a blood moon, a rare celestial event occurring in just 2 weeks. Armed with this knowledge, they devised a plan to confront the mysterious woman connected to the curse. They offered her a chance at redemption, knowing they had to act quickly. Following the instructions with newfound determination, they discovered that the curse was not just a force of evil but a reflection of the darkness within themselves. They encountered the malevolent spirit. To confront the curse, they had to face unimaginable horrors, confront their own demons, their deepest fears, their flaws, battle moments of doubt, face the consequences of their actions, and confronted the sins of their past. They had to find the strength to overcome the malevolence that threatened to consume Bayville entirely. With each passing day, the curse tightened its grip, entangling the town further in its web of darkness that surrounded them. Redemption seemed within reach as they fought to protect the Thompson family and their sanity. But they knew that protection came at the ultimate price. As the night of the ritual approached, the Thompsons prepared themselves mentally and emotionally. Failure meant being forever trapped in the haunting melody of Blue October. But their love for each other and their unwavering determination could be their promised salvation. On that stormy night, the Thompson family found themselves at the center of a ritual that held a significance beyond their understanding. The blood moon loomed overhead, casting an eerie crimson glow over Bayville, sending chills down their spines. Emily felt herself on the brink of becoming an unwitting harbinger of doom. As the moon reached its zenith, she wandered through the deserted streets of Bayville, the lines between reality and nightmare beginning to blur. Whispers of the ancient ritual echoed in her ears, beckoning her towards an unseen danger. The weight of the town's fate bore down upon Emily's small shoulders, but her determination burned bright as she became entangled in the ancient curse. Meanwhile, the Thompsons gathered in the heart of Bayville, their faces etched with worry and determination. With the crashing waves serving as their backdrop to their unwavering determination, Emily's family, along with Caleb, Mr. Harrison, and Mr. Jenkins, prepared to perform the ancient ritual against the malevolence that surrounded them. They called upon the spirit of the ocean, pleading for mercy and forgiveness. They fought against the malevolence that surrounded them, their voices rising above the howling wind. Word of the Thompson family's plight spread swiftly, reaching the ears of Mr. Harrison, Mr. Jenkins, Caleb, and a few courageous townsfolk. They too assembled, forming an unlikely alliance united against the supernatural force. Together, they stood firm in the heart of Bayville, their shared purpose forging an unbreakable bond. As more townspeople joined their cause, their numbers grew, and they harnessed the power of the community. Undeterred by the malevolence that surrounded them, they confronted the very embodiment of evil. It was a being that thrived on fear and despair, its presence suffocating, their hope flickering like a candle in the darkness. They knew that the only way to defeat this evil and save their beloved town was by facing their fears head-on. The Thompsons and their allies stood together as the moonlight bathed Bayville. They were ready to challenge the impossible. With trembling hearts and steadfast determination, they began the ancient ritual, their voices intertwining as they chanted the incantations. Their voices rose above the haunting melody that had plagued them for so long. They fought against the darkness that threatened to consume them, grasping onto a sliver of hope. In a final battle between light and darkness, the fate of Bayville hung in the balance. Now, in an act of desperation, the Thompsons believed they could finally sever the ties between them and the supernatural force. Performing ancient rituals and chanting incantations, the Thompsons summoned every ounce of their strength and unwavering belief in the power of redemption. They offered up their own pain, suffering, love, hope, and resilience, with the entire town standing behind them. As the ritual reached its climax, the air grew heavy with anticipation. Shadows danced along the sky, and the ground trembled beneath their feet. In their battle against the supernatural force, the Thompsons, along with their allies, made the ultimate sacrifice as they found themselves face to face with the ancient force that had held Bayville captive. The sea churned and released a wave of malevolent energy as the Thompsons fought to save their beloved town. A monstrous entity, fueled by centuries of sorrow and despair, rose to challenge the desperate humans. The vengeful spirit appeared with its wrath unleashed upon them, and anyone brave enough to stand against its challenge. The Thompsons and their allies stood strong, drowning out the darkness with their voices. Their fight against the evil force was not without trials and tribulations. But they pressed on, determined to break the curse and save Bayville. Each step they took brought them closer to the heart of the curse, but also to the brink of despair. As the air crackled with energy, the haunting melody of Blue October intensified. The supernatural force fought back, unleashing terrifying apparitions and haunting nightmares upon the group. Its grip on their sanity tightened with each passing second. They were tormented by their own fears and insecurities, but the Thompsons refused to give in. They had come too far to let fear consume them. United in their power to break free from the curse, the Thompsons discovered the strength of their family bonds. They fought against the malevolent forces that threatened to consume them, protecting themselves and the town from the curse's insidious grip. It was a battle of wills and a test of their resilience. Determined to break the curse and save their beloved town as they all fought together against the darkness. They knew that redemption was within reach as they stood united. Finally, a blinding light erupted from the ancient book, banishing the malevolence from Bayville. As the last incantation left their lips and echoed through the night, the mysterious woman appeared before them. The spirit was forced to confront her own pain and release her hold on Emily. In that moment, the mysterious woman's eyes filled with both sorrow and hope. She revealed her true name and the story of her lost love, shedding tears streaming down her face as she spoke. Trapped in the curse for centuries, she had been unable to find peace. Emily, filled with empathy and understanding, listened intently. She knew she held the key to breaking the curse and freeing the mysterious woman from her eternal torment. With a tremble in her voice, Emily confessed her love for the ocean and her willingness to sacrifice herself to save the mysterious woman. As Emily spoke, the curse was broken, and the mysterious woman transformed into a radiant being of light. She thanked Emily for her selflessness and disappeared into the depths of the ocean, finally finding the peace she had longed for. Together, the Thompsons closed the music box forever, silencing its ghostly song. Blue October, the haunting melody that had plagued their nights, had faded away into the distance of the night, its last notes silenced. But its echoes would forever remind them of the darkness they had overcome. As the curse's hold on Bayville weakened as the supernatural force retreated, it was unable to withstand the power of the ancient rituals, and with each passing moment, it grew weaker as its power faded away. The curse's hold on Bayville had been broken free once more, and they would never be the same again. The Thompsons and their allies embraced their victory, tears of relief streaming down the faces of the Thompsons and their fellow warriors as they embraced their hard-fought victory. They had faced their deepest fears and emerged triumphant. The town of Bayville was finally free from the clutches of darkness, and the Thompsons knew that their sacrifice had not been in vain. They had saved their beloved town and brought light back to its streets. One stormy night, as the rain poured down and the thunder roared, Emily felt that familiar strong pull towards the ocean. Emily ventured down towards the ocean's shore. She had always been fascinated by its depths, but now her love for the ocean grew stronger. She spent the day exploring the shore, feeling a deep connection to the mysterious woman who had been set free from the curse. As Emily stood on the shore, the waves crashing around her, a familiar presence washed over her. The ocean churned and swirled, revealing the radiant being of light that was once the mysterious woman. She smiled at Emily, her eyes filled with gratitude. I have watched over you, dear Emily, the woman said, her voice echoing through the crashing waves. You have brought me peace. Bayville would forever remember the battle between light and darkness, and remember this night as the night when a united community stood against the forces of darkness and emerged victorious in triumph. The Thompsons would forever be known as the family who had saved them all. The town that was once filled with darkness and despair was now a community filled with light and hope. Bayville could finally move forward, leaving behind the haunting melody of Blue October and the curse that had plagued them for so long. In the small town of Bayville, a curse had cast a dark shadow over its skies for as long as anyone could remember. The eerie glow that once illuminated the night had vanished from Bayville's skies, but on this particular night, as the blood moon faded into the night, a new dawn emerged, casting assorted ethereal hues of gold and pink across a tranquil Bayville. As the sun rose over Bayville, sunlight poured through the windows, its rays illuminated the once darkened corners of the house of the Thompson family. They had been at the forefront of the battle against the curse, and now they celebrated their victory. The townspeople emerged from their homes, their faces filled with hope and gratitude. The Thompsons, now hailed as heroes, stood at the heart of it all, their hearts filled with a sense of accomplishment and a renewed faith in the power of redemption. The people were grateful to have emerged from the shadow of the curse unscathed, stronger than ever before. The Thompsons couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude for the journey they had been through. As they looked out at the vast ocean from their porch, the Thompsons marveled at the beauty that surrounded them. Bayville, once plagued by darkness, now stood as a symbol of triumph and rebirth. The townspeople rejoiced as their spirits lifted. The houses stood tall once more, their foundations strengthened by the unity of the community. The people of Bayville emerged from the shadows, stronger than ever before. The Thompsons and the people of Bayville, exhausted but victorious, had faced their darkest fears, stood as a testament to the power of love, resilience, and the strength of the indomitable human spirit. They also stood for the importance of standing together in the face of adversity. A sense of peace washed over them as they realized the impact they had made. The Thompsons and their allies had succeeded in breaking the curse, but they knew their journey was not over. The curse that had been broken, replaced by a newfound hope and a renewed appreciation for the power of resilience. Though the town could finally breathe with a collective sigh of relief, the legacy of the curse lived on in the hearts and minds of the townspeople. As the sun set over the town of Bayville, it cast a warm glow upon its restored buildings and smiling faces. A sense of peace washed over the town. The Thompsons knew that they had fulfilled their duty. They had learned from their past, and they vowed to protect their beloved town from any future threats. They created a legacy of hope, love, and resilience against the forces of evil. Forever scarred and changed by their harrowing ordeal with the curse, the Thompsons became the guardians of Bayville's history. They were haunted by the melody that had brought them to the edge of despair, but they remained forever vigilant against the lurking shadows. Despite its dark past, they had come to love Bayville. Using their newfound knowledge, they decided to stay to protect the town from any future threats. The Thompsons settled back into their home, finding solace in knowing they had played a part in saving their beloved Bayville from the clutches of darkness and in the town's quaint charm. The Thompsons knew that Bayville would always be their home, a place where they had found strength and purpose amidst the shadows. As time went on, they became the keepers of Bayville's secrets, ensuring that the curse would never return. The haunting melody of Blue October was replaced by the sound of laughter and joy. They watched Bayville with pride as the town flourished and thrived under their watchful eyes. As the years passed, the haunting melody of Blue October would forever be a part of their lives. The cursed melody served as a constant reminder of the horrors they had faced and the strength they had found within themselves. It would also serve as a reminder of the power of redemption and the resilience of the human spirit. They ensured that the curse would never be forgotten, for it was through remembrance that Bayville could now thrive once again as its streets filled with laughter and joy. The once desolate town had transformed into a bustling community, and a renewed sense of hope was built in its place. The Thompsons, who had once been outsiders, were now deeply rooted in the fabric of Bayville. The cursed melody that had plagued Bayville for so long was now nothing more than a distant memory. The haunting notes that had once echoed through the streets were replaced with the sounds of children playing and the melodies of local musicians. They also knew that their bravery and determination had helped banish the darkness that once consumed their town. However, the memory of Blue October's curse and the story of the Thompsons and their fight against the supernatural force became a legend lingering as a cautionary tale passed down through generations. Parents warned their children about the dangers of delving into the unknown by reminding them of the Thompsons' harrowing experience. They also marveled at the tale of the selfless girl who had broken a curse and found her true purpose. The Thompsons' old Victorian home stood proudly on the outskirts of town as it served as a reminder of the darkness that once befell Bayville. The sprawling coastline of Bayville remained both beautiful and treacherous. The crashing waves and jagged cliffs were a constant reminder of the town's haunted past. Its memory would forever linger as Bayville stood as a testament to their resilience and had triumphed over the forces of evil. It was a place where nightmares had been conquered, and where hope had triumphed over despair. The Thompsons dedicated their lives to rebuilding and healing the wounds left by the curse as they used their power to create a brighter future. They were no longer trapped, and they ensured that Bayville remained safe from the clutches of Blue October. They all stood united in their determination as they began to rebuild their lives and reclaim their home, knowing that the scars of the curse would always remain. In a heartwarming conclusion, Emily and Caleb were forever linked by their shared experiences. They found solace in each other's arms. Their love had blossomed amidst the chaos and uncertainty. They realized that it was their love for each other that had given them the strength to overcome the curse that had plagued Bayville.